1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll do is working on that end, then we'll wait for Anor. And in the meantime, I continue to scan for any plans. Hello, Sarah. Would you like some food? Berries. Oh, hex berries. Okay. Just sounds like a Gen 1 Pokemon. Okay. Thanks. Sodium deposit. Sodium deposit. Emerald deposit. Hello. Gold deposit. Hello.
Yep. Hello.
I am already live. I have not done anything yet. I am just milling about the planet we were on.
What are our goals today?
Well, I did a bit of research concerning our egg boy.
Yep.
So we got what appears to be all of the parts, but apparently to get the 5th and final part, you have to go through a portal. It's not this, but like a very different structure. The only time I've ever found one in this game is through the main Atlas quest. So it's possible we will have to do that Atlas quest first.
Okay.
I don't know, though. We'll have to see. But that's why today's title is a bit violent. Would you fuck right off, please?
Hello, give screen.
Right. No, I am not telling you to fuck off, I swear. There's just a sentinel. There. Screen is good. So yeah. We're on a bit of an odd planet. That's a mineral right there. That's a naturally occurring mineral.
Man. Me hearing "oh fuck off" without any screen or context. Okay.
No, there's a sentinel here. It's annoying. It's that guy. And he's gonna get mad at me if I start gathering resources. But there's a gold deposit right over here. So I have to wait for him to go away before I can start digging.
Greetings, federal agents.
Ignore my incredibly hacked, I don't know what the equivalent would be, police car? One of those,
This is my very normal and not stolen, totally not former police dog.
No, it's one of the Boston Dynamics dogs. But I've programmed it to just act like a normal-ass dog.
Every time I remember they turned the Boston Dynamic dogs into fucking RoboCop dogs.
Yup, they gave them guns. Which I think everyone saw coming and just really hoped that maybe just this one time the world isn't that bad. But it was.
Everyone made all these memes about this is how the robot revolution happens, and they used them for cops.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Greetings, federal agents. We are law-abiding citizens, totally not encouraging our impressionable viewers to steal the Boston Dynamics robot dogs from the police. Because that would be a crime.
That would be a crime, and that's bad and illegal.
We follow the law so hard.
Definitely.
Pirating? What's that? Never done that in my life. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I am a law-abiding citizen from a law-abiding family. My grandma has never snuck fireworks on an international flight before.
Oh god! No, I think you've told me that before, and I think I had the exact same reaction, but I have no other recollection of the story.
Post 9/11 too.
Oh god, okay.
So this is like after they did like the 4 million tons of security that you have in airplanes now.
Good lord, that's almost impressive in a very concerning way.
Yeah.
No, that's not almost impressive. That is impressive.
It's impressive in the audacity.
Yeah.
My grandpa was so pissed when he found out. Because it's not like she could hide it when she came back and unpacked. And like, I never found out why. Like when it happened, like she went to Taiwan for like something, and then It was some kind of family business thing, and then she came back, and then Akon was very pissed off at her. Never why until years later he told me about this.
That's amazing. God, you've just reminded me of the fact that at my grandpa has that fucking Lord of the Rings poster that's been in the basement for the entire time I've lived there.
Isn't it the signed one?
Yeah, signed by the entire cast. Didn't know that. I was probably told that, but I didn't understand the implications of it. Till I went downstairs to take a shower, and while I'm just sitting there in a bath towel, realizing, oh, that says Sean Bean. What the fuck?
Lord of the Rings was such a good movie franchise.
It doesn't feel like a franchise. It feels like one really big movie.
It really does. Every single movie was so long, and yet somehow this still feels like one movie.
I have watched the whole extended edition, and I had to put aside the entirety of 2 days to do it.
And it still holds up pretty well.
It holds up amazingly.
Yeah, like, special effects wise, it's still great.
Yeah. Well, because they didn't use that many special effects, and when they did, they were incredibly, like they put tons of effort into it.
Like, when Lord of the Rings came out, a lot of that special effects technology was new.
Yeah.
Like, Andy Serkis, the guy who did Gollum.
Yeah.
He was one of the first motion capture actors.
Oh my god, yeah. You say that makes sense, but it's also like, what the frick? Oh, god damn it. No, hello, sir.
Hello. Greetings, federal agent. Hello, I have no weapons. Behold, my completely valid citizen ID. Does having the sentry out, do anything to the surrounding sentinels?
I haven't noticed so far. I think it might later, but we're very early on in this quest.
Yeah.
Right now I'm looking for more of these things, but I think I might only be able to get to the 2.
Because it feels maybe the sentry reduces sentinel aggro just a bit.
It might.
Because, I've seen you play No Man's Sky before, but it has been a while. And it feels like the sentries are less aggro than they should be.
Yeah. That might just be an update change. Because I noticed that even before I got Lil Man.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's just been a while. So it's like the AI thing, or is the sentry reducing the aggro?
Yeah. I don't know, honestly. It could be either, could be both.
Yeah. Have you seen the evil father jokes that I accidentally spawned?
The evil what?
The evil fodder jokes. So,
evil fodder.
You know, like the
fodder.
Yeah, it's fodder.
I was reading fodder like cannon fodder.
Oh. So I have a
Minecraft
skin for
that would actually be really funny. It's just a picture. It's just a normal picture of fodder, but it just says cannon fodder, but like canon as a canonical. It's cannon fodder.
points on a cannonball. OMG, cannon fodder.
Professional funny man at your service.
Okay, so you know how I have a Minecraft skin for fodder.
Yeah.
And a lot of skin makers that like have image previews, they don't do it for Alex skins. So what I've been doing for all the skins that use Alex when I do commissions and stuff is I put it onto my Minecraft account and then go to NameMC. NameMC is this old website that like shows you the skins of every Minecraft account. And not only that, shows you every skin a Minecraft account has ever had.
Good lord. So
I use this to do image previews of people's Alex skins.
Yeah.
Since a lot of sites don't do image previews for Alex skins because they're cowards. And that means that it's like on the name MC of Ainor Yale, that you can see like a bunch of other people's skins because I used them, and one of them is the father skin. So I went onto NameMC to make a rotating blurbo in my mind joke about fodder because it has a rotate feature.
Nice.
But NameMC has this thing you can do where you can see like monochrome or inverted versions of a skin.
I see where this is going.
I looked at the fucking inverted father, and one, it looks like a sleep paralysis demon. You know the fucking Hat Man thing? The Benadryl Hat Man? Have I told you about the Hat Man?
All I know is the song that we just discussed, which I will not go into detail because reasons. But other than that, no, I do not know the Hat Man.
Okay. Are you familiar with the medication Benadryl?
Vaguely. I don't think I've ever had it.
Okay, but do you know what it's for?
No.
It's like for fevers, aches, pains, or to help you sleep.
Ooh.
I don't think it's a prescription med. I think it's an off-the-counter med.
Really?
But the thing is, it is very, very easy to accidentally overdose on Benadryl. Not in a way that kills you, but like it's very easy to accidentally take a little too much. Because it's like, oh, it hasn't kicked in yet, I'll take another.
That's such a bad mentality.
Yeah, this is a very common problem with meds that like take a little while to kick in. People accidentally take too much, especially if it's off-the-counter shit.
Yeah.
But with Benadryl, when you take too much Benadryl, one of the most infamous side effects is you start like having crazy hallucinations.
Interesting.
Or really vivid nightmares. And
I should not be taking notes on this.
This is a surprise tool that will help us later. So, very infamous side effect of maybe sleep meds in general, because they, fuck with your sleep. But mostly Benadryl is hallucinations. Except like human hallucinations have patterns, and one of the common patterns of hallucinations is thinking that shadows or shapes out of the corner of your eye are people.
Yeah. Because we're like highly keyed up for seeing people faces.
Yeah. So it's like you're half sedated and then you see this weird shadow at the corner of your eye. Hat Man.
Hat Man.
Yeah, so this is Hat Man. And anyway, so I looked back to inverted fodder.
By the way, Biddy is here and has been for a few minutes now.
Hi, Biddy, we're talking about the Hat Man. So I said inverted fodder is like, I feel like this is the Hat Man people are talking about when they hit too hard on the meds. And then people started making jokes that, like, this is Father's evil alter ego. And started making a characterization of the evil father left to get milk 16 years ago.
Oh my god.
And now we're saying that, like, it's a running joke among its kids. Except, like, Father's 70 years old, so it's got, like, 2 to 3 generations of kids that all have this joke. You've heard of Father Ravenslove. Now get ready for... Let me find out.
Mother Crow hates.
Evils never. Right F. Evils never. For me, I just, like... I typed Father backwards, and then I typed Ravenslove backwards. But you put actual brain cells into it instead of fucking...
I mean, this is the exact opposite of what we did for the... We need to come up with funny fake names for... not Technoblade. And you had all of these, and then I just wrote Technoblade backwards.
And then we put it in the... And then we put it in ORP.
And then we put it in ORP.
Anyway. The reason why I said all this is because someone left a very recent message in the Half-Stack chat that was like, instead of having a wizard tower, Rodif has an underground wizard dungeon.
It's just a fucking pit.
And now I'm trying to comprehend, like, what an inverse wizard dungeon looks like.
Oh, I also figured out why we had to... I figured out why we had to go so incredibly far for this planet. Apparently, for this step of the process, it takes you to any planet that has this specific biome. The freaking mushroom nonsense.
Oh, so you just had bad RNG, basically, for the biome?
It could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse, but it was not great. I think we had to make 5 different jumps just to get here.
Horrific.
Yep.
I asked this person...
We saw that, and my first response was, so apparently we're going to be making the antimatter generator today, because I'm not making that much stuff.
We're like not even a quarter through the main quest, and we're getting like the end game items.
Yup.
You know, for funnies.
The smart move would probably have been to wait on all of this.
And, you know, like, progress the story.
Yeah. And naturally obtain all these.
But the call of Sunboy was just too strong. So, I asked the person who left that comment, and I said I was very interested in what the fuck a wizard dungeon is. And the response, this very poetic response, it's like a dungeon, but it's a wizard's.
Biddy's suggestion is the Stanley Parable bottomless pit. With big quotation marks around bottomless. I do remember that.
What's at the bottom, okay?
So it's a bottomless pit, but when you step in, it's like maybe a foot deep. And it's like, well, we're still working on it. And I think it gets to a point where you just, like, he's droning on about, like, you'll fall infinitely and then you hit the bottom. It's... I don't remember it exactly. If I can just
hear me out. So, like, using the Year Walker server has taught me many things, like what's possible in creative mode. Like, Grab has taught me it's possible to make free repeating structures over and over again.
Yeah.
And
I'm very aware of that.
Yeah. And Therizin has taught me that End Portal is a block and you can place it.
Yes.
Not the frame, the portal texture. Which baffles me to no end.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that before, yeah.
Yeah, we tested it out to see if it was like a walkable floor and wouldn't, like, you know, zap us to the end. And it is a walkable floor, so like, if we wanted to put a bottomless pit in Farner's basement, we can just have the end portal floor. I did want to have at least one build on the Yearwalker server that has an end portal floor or ceiling. Because I just think it's fun to have.
Entirely fair / correct.
It would be fun to have like a water build like that. Like there's like a few layers of water and then the bottom of the water is end portal frame.
That sounds interesting. I don't know how that would look. Like I don't know if that would mesh with the water proper, but that would be a very interesting thing to see.
Yeah. Or like have end portal frame and like a few layers of colored glass. Because that's a good way to do fog effect. Those on Minecraft taught me that. That like you can put like some funky texture in the ground and then put a few layers of stained glass on top. Creates a really good fog effect.
Huh. Got so many albumin pearls. I don't need any of them. I just want Sorcerer's not charged. God damn it, how far is that? Okay. Keep forgetting I don't have the automatic, like, recharge upgrade. So if I don't refuel the thing, it won't be able to jump.
The reason I kind of want to buffer the end portal texture is it's kind of emotion sickening to walk upon, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a
very dizzying effect.
Yeah. I don't really get motion sick from, like, video, like, from digital screen stuff. But, like, the moment I walked on that for the first time, I was like, oh, somebody's gonna puke looking at this too long. So, like, maybe put, like, a few layers above that to just sort that out.
Just in case.
Or use it as a ceiling.
That might be worse, actually.
Oh, you think it would be worse as a ceiling? I thought it, like, because if it's the ceiling, maybe it would be more like a night sky thing and it wouldn't be as fucky in the head to look at it.
No, you're right.
I'm gonna put an end portal ceiling in one of the half stack builds. But it's a build I won't talk about on stream.
Is that good enough? It's probably good enough.
The way I'll play half stack is like mostly survival, switching between like the various characters that I have. But I do want to have like a few like quickly done creative mode builds at certain times, just because I think they would be neat for people to find.
Biddy, is the audio any better now?
Oh, that's why everything stopped.
Yeah. Biddy was saying you were kind of quiet, but I've got your volume actually like maxed out.
Horrific.
Correct. Now I am also horribly quiet. What? Okay, I think that might be a you thing. The game is louder than both of you combined? How? It's at nearly the lowest possible... Okay. The issue is that I've got Anor and the game coming out of the same thing. But then I've got myself on a different thing.
Horrific.
Yes. No, that doesn't help. No. Well, that's annoying. I don't know how to fix this. You know, hear people again. Oh, this might actually be a me thing. Yeah, I think it might be a you thing. Because I'm talking like, not loudly, but loud enough, I think. And I can hear Anor just fine. And the game is, like, just loud enough that I can hear it proper.
Biddy is living in hell world.
He says, it's all incredibly confusing, but now I can appreciate the story. Oh, okay, whatever. Run away from Mr. Policeman. Totally not suspicious at all.
Sentinel's like, why are you running? Why are you running?
God, I laugh like a shoebill stork does. Have you ever heard...
Why is there rotating dust in the air? Is that an animal?
That's an animal, yeah.
Peculiar creature. That is a peculiar creature of delicate craft.
Oh, this is a bit of odd terrain. Got a handful of floating rocks. Very funky looking emerald deposit.
Somebody came by with a bigger, fatter multi-tool.
Is that just a piece of ground? Yep, that's just a piece of ground. Video saying, Mr. Rotat wrote me a tat.
Make it the rotest that I ever tat.
I'm not doing anything. Go away.
Bro, I'm just taking a picture. You don't allow phones anymore? Wait.
Oh, good lord, that's a big one.
Is the sentinel far away to not get pissed off that you're doing this?
They don't care about mining deposits. It's only if you're, like, using your mining tool, or the, so I'm using the terrain manipulator, but if I use the mining beam, then they get pissed off. It's weird.
Oh no, Mr. Officer, I'm not mining, I'm just coincidentally clearing this path that happens to have valuable resources in it.
Basically.
Not that I know what a resource is, sir. No, sir.
But he says it's our natural crime energy, and also maybe the murders. So 120 emeralds, that's pretty good. I just want one more of the decorative things. That'll be enough, I think. There's not a lot of them this time. Like, on the other two planets, there were, like, decorative items everywhere. I've only managed to find 4 on this one. I want to get 5. Because I want to have 1 for, like, a museum display. And I want to have the other 4 as, like, base decoration kind of stuff. On the last stream, every time there was a long loading screen, I would start singing Mr. Sandman, but it's a parody song about CRISPR-Cas9. Still 0 clue what CRISPR-Cas9. Okay, first. It's spelled like that. It's a complex protein that's basically used as genetic scissors. It's a whole thing, but you can basically just, like, copy-paste part of the genome from one thing into another. And it's how...
You use it in gene editing.
Yeah.
Very crucial for people who want glow-in-the-dark cats.
It is, yes. The glowing AIDS. Why is that the thing everyone knows?
What, the glowing cats?
Yeah. Because Biddy's also saying, oh yeah, the glowing AIDS cats. Like, my first thought is the time they got a fly to grow eyes out of its ass, but go off, I guess.
What?
Okay, that was more Hawk's gene manipulation, but I do believe that was done with CRISPR. So, Hawk's
a lot of genetic modification is done with CRISPR, isn't it?
Pretty much all of it, because the other methods are too expensive or too risky, or there's like a tiny chance of it actually working. Like, before CRISPR, it was just a matter of, like, trial and error. And that's the reason why genetic manipulation took off so quickly once CRISPR was discovered. Because, like, we had all this knowledge about mapping out genomes, and now we could actually do something with it. Remember, now it's mentioned there was a whole batch of one-eyed sheep that was just because of this one plant they were eating. I've heard of that, but I've never, like... But only in passing. I kind of want to look that up now.
Welcome to Jaybird Streams, where you learn science facts against your will.
Correct! And history sometimes.
Sometimes. Even science history.
Uh-huh. I think my favorite, like, story of weird stuff that happens with genetic modification is the time that they tried to make a flower more purple, and it turned pure white. Because it had a gene for detecting, like, viral infections. So it's like, oh, you're targeting my more purple gene. I'm just going to turn it off. Curious case.
Oh boy, what is happening here?
Huh?
What is happening?
I'm Googling.
Oh.
Alright, this is the most wild shit I've ever seen. I'm just gonna read out the article.
Do it.
Idaho sheep ranchers couldn't figure out why, in the decade after World War II, a random batch of their lambs were being born with strange birth defects. The creatures had underdeveloped brains and a single eye, planted cyclops-like in the middle of their forehead. Which, I do actually know what the particular birth defect is. Basically, the brain and head in general never splits in two.
Oh yeah, like the cell division doesn't do properly.
Yeah. Let's see. Scientists worked for 11 years to solve the mystery. One of them, Lynn James, lived with the sheep for 3 summers before discovering the culprit, corn lilies. When the animals moved to higher ground during droughts, they snacked on the flowers. The lilies, as it turned out, contained a poison, later dubbed cyclopamine, that stunted developing lamb embryos. The mothers remained unharmed. The case of the cyclopamine and the one-eyed Idaho lambs remained a freakish chemistry footnote for the next 25 years. Researchers could never uncover why cyclopamine caused birth defects. But now cancer researchers have improbably seized on the obscure plant chemical as the blueprint for half a dozen promising tumor fighters. And here's the sentence that broke me. Cyclopamine, as it turns out, blocks the function of a gene called sonic hedgehog that is also essential for embryonic development, but also plays a lead role in causing deadly cancers of the pancreas, skin, prostate, and esophagus. I forgot that they named its cancer gene sonic hedgehog. Yes, this is a real thing. I totally forgot about it.
As soon as you, like, paused, I knew it was gonna be the fucking Sonic Hedgehog gene. Isn't there a fucking, like, Pikachu chemical?
Oh, I believe so, yeah. There's also a dinosaur named Bulbasaurus.
I just looked up. The chemical in question is called Pikachurin. It's a human protein. That's like, it's in some kind of, it's in nerve cells. And if it doesn't bond properly, it's associated with like eye problems and muscular dystrophy.
Of course it is.
Why are they naming all of these genes that like destroy human bodies? Things like Pikachu and Sonic Hedgehog.
They discover it before they figure out, oh, this is actually really fucked up. Oh no.
Some nerd discovers it and goes, I'm gonna name it Pikachu, and then he just goes, this thing will make you blind if it goes wrong.
So the discovery of the hedgehog genetic pathway originated in the quest to understand how an embryo knows what body parts to grow and where. A developing embryo starts out as a ball of identical cells with no top or bottom, no front or back. No one knew how this ball of cells figures out where to put an arm, a wing, a head, or a foot. In the late 1970s, researchers Christian Nuelsen-Volhard and Eric Weisshaus, I'm certain I'm pronouncing those wrongs, completed their massive study of thousands of fruit fly mutations, a landmark in large-scale biological analysis. They found 50 genes that turned out to be very important for the development of fly embryos. One that they mutated caused the flies to grow a coat of spines all over their undersides, so they dubbed it the hedgehog gene. Set out for research by Philip Beechey and a dozen others to explore the hedgehog pathway in higher order animals such as fish and mammals. They found several unique species, whereas flies only have one. In mammals, the most important may be the Sonic Hedgehog gene, named after the Sega video game character by scientists in the Harvard laboratory of Clifford Tabin in 1993. Mutations of Sonic Hedgehog in people may result in babies with a single eye or a hole in the center of the head. The infants' brains can be so undeveloped that they often don't survive. Usually patients have less serious mutations, a single front tooth or a slightly deformed face. If Sonic Hedgehog is mutated when a mouse is growing its paws, the animal won't grow digits. Interference with it when the developing brain is casting out the two bulges of nerve tissue that become the eyes, and you get cyclopean sheep. So that kind of gene is called a Hox gene, and this is a fairly recent discovery and was very important for evolutionary development, and kind of sparked off the whole field of evolutionary development, also known as Evo Devo. Because Hox genes are basically, so they don't have the instructions on like how to make a part, they just have the instructions of where to put it, and like, you know, when it grows. And the way this was discovered and tested was they took a gene from I believe a mouse or a person. I don't remember. No, I think it was a mouse. And it was the Hox gene that said, grow an eye here. So this is a gene from a mouse, and they put it in a fly. So it was the mouse gene saying, put an eye here, placed where the fly would grow its hind legs. And instead of growing a mouse eye, it grew a fly's eyes where its hind legs would be.
And that's how you get a fly with
eyes on its ass. Yes. And reversely, you can get one with legs growing out of its face.
Speaking of science things that are just named after Pokemon, there's this one genus of beetles, and like 3 species in it are named after Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos.
Hell yes.
Because the guy who like codified them has like a childhood special interest in those Pokemon.
Nice. But he is saying R.I.P. to that horrid freak of nature by Magic the Flies. It sounds like a terrifying way to live. I don't think they lived very long. I highly doubt they survived.
Oh, by the way, the gene that, like, they're not quite sure what it does, but it might be the master switch for all cancers. It's called POK erythroid myeloid ontogenic factor, also known as Pokemon.
What? Who said that? Who said that was okay? That's just mean.
And it continued to be named. And it was first published in the January 2005 issue of Nature, which is a British weekly science journal in London. It stayed named Pokemon. Okay, so the magazine that talked about the Pokemon gene came out in January. It took all of a year in December 2005 for the Pokemon company to say, if you keep it named that, we're gonna fucking sue you. And now its official name is ZBTB7. But everyone still calls it the Pokemon gene.
Oh my god!
Because the acronym still works. It's just they can't say it on science papers.
Pokemon causes cancer.
So basically, this is the gene that makes cancer cells spread.
There's no way that turning that off isn't going to have a massive negative effect, though.
Yeah.
Like
they've discovered that this specific gene is why cancer cells spread. So they're thinking that potentially this is the gene that
what's going to happen is they'll try and turn it off, and then it'll turn out, oh, this animal can't heal anymore. Like, it can't grow new genes or shit. Or new cells or something. I don't know. I'm very hesitant of anything where it's like, this will cure all of something. Because it's like, it's probably not going to do anything, or it's going to make it worse. It's never that simple.
It's some kind of genetic suppressor. It doesn't create things. It specifically turns shit off.
Anyways,
the reason that it makes cancer spread is because it turns off this other gene that stops tumors from happening.
In other news, story.
Oh, right. Adoption papers. POV, you've been trying to reach these people about the adoption papers, but their weird friend has been telling them about the Pokemon cancer gene.
This is the reason why we don't get anything done. We're on part 10 of this series. Alright. It is nearly complete. But here we will diverge. If you share yourself with us, it is sacrifice. There is no infinite mind to spill. It must be yielded. The song of this strange space creature has changed. Subtle but unmistakable. It has become a duet. A perfect harmony with the void egg. The voice of the alien is fading. It feels weaker. And in a perfect inverted echo, the void egg grows in volume. Its music now insistent, pounding. It has its own message. The void egg seeks a specific world. Unconventional travel may be required.
Oh, is this the portal part?
It might be. Uh-oh. An anomalous egg. Since the encounter with a bizarre deep space creature, Its strange music has grown more active, more agitated. When touched, conjures powerful visions of pink and blue, colors seared into the mind of the holder. The hunter, the reflection, the hunter, the spiral of reality, the star over water, the ascending orb, the obscured companion, the hunter, the lowly insect, the anomaly, the sailor, the ocean king, Euclid, Euclid, Euclid.
Gee, I wonder if we should go to the anomaly.
Actually, first I want to see... So we'll have a quest marker for us, yeah? Oh. Oh, I see.
Oh, that's very far away.
Yeah, a bit. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 jumps. No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. 6 systems. I think. That isn't unconventional travel, though, so why does it want me to go to Urbak there? This thing is lucky that I've just stocked up on warp cores. Maybe that's where you find the unconventional travel method. That's a good point, yeah. Is that someone's companion?
Someone's got a jellyfish.
Yeah. Tenacious Lee TV's companion.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, hello.
Creature. This guy's just in front of it.
Bring out Moo. I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Dance party moment.
I don't have any emotes. It's the Easter Bunny, says Biddy. Yeah, I think we just need to go where it's saying. I'll talk to these guys first, though. So, 5 nanites. Alpharetta.
Wow, that was
I don't have any. I have 8. I'll spend it on decorative stuff.
I've been looking at this Minecraft mod that apparently is an interface to help you make mods and like make textures and custom mobs.
That's cool.
So when I get my new laptop, which is a thing I'll have to get around to, first I'm getting a new bicycle. I had to order it, and then it comes in sometime like this or next week. When I have a bicycle, I'm gonna go get a new laptop where I can re-download Steam and Minecraft.
Are you gonna bike to where you need to pick it up? That
No,
was
it's
a
just
joke.
like,
Because you're getting the bicycle. Okay.
yeah. So when I have my new laptop, I'll consider like getting this mod, and then maybe I'll go around to making custom mobs and custom mob textures for the half-stack mod. Ooh. No, one of the things I want to do is just have a few more cats.
Can
Just
never
a
have
few.
enough cats.
Just a few more cat textures. Like,
Biddy is
Like,
delayed
they
about
have
this
a-
as well.
yeah. Like, they have a Persian cat model, you know? Like, they modded the snout to make a Persian cat. Like, why not have a Maine Coon cat texture?
Oh.
It's just a cat, but like huge. Just a cat, but huge. And if I can do that, so maybe I can add non-chicken birds, other than, you know, like the toucan and the crow
For
mob
some
that we're
reason,
planning to
you
add
started that with...
in. What? What?
Mods auto-checked Biddy for saying Maine Coon's my beloved. Apparently Coons is an insult? Is that a thing? I thought that's just a shorthand for raccoons.
Oh, Coon, like coon, by
Yeah.
itself can be a slur.
What?
I don't remember exactly what for, but it can be a slur. Let me look it up.
That's annoying.
Maine Coon, as in the cat, is Coone.
Oh, okay. I always thought it was like a joke of like, in Maine, instead of raccoons, they just have giant fucking cats.
So coon can be a slur for black people.
Why? I'm not arguing that it is. If people say that it is, I'm not going to say that. But also, why
it's not related to raccoon. It's related to this like Portuguese word, baracun, which which is like a word for slaves, I think.
That makes a bit more sense, but also that why do racist people have to ruin the word raccoon?
It's coon by itself. Raccoon is just fine. I think I might have learned this from writing ORP, actually, because we have like the whole moblin thing. So like for different animals, we have something lin. And there's this one part where we had a raccoon moblin, and I was gonna say coonlin.
Yeah.
And I think someone told me, it's like, oh, you can't do that. Don't call an animal creature coon. Because it was a raccoon moblin servant. So.
Yeah.
So like I didn't know that was what it could have meant that. Many times when I learn things against my will, it's usually from like writing. Such as like another thing I learned against my will from ORP is that if someone's not white and you describe their skin color using like like a color word that can also be a food, it's bad.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I think it's just a matter of like it's overused and it's kind of like
it's
a bit
like
dehumanizing or something.
oh, I don't think it's because it's dehumanizing. It's because like it almost never happens to describe white people, and when it's used to describe skin specifically, it's like kind of like creeper behavior.
Okay.
Because like another thing is like it mostly happens to women of color in this kind of description. So like saying someone has like mocha skin becomes like it's like creeper shit. Which I think I had been tangentially aware of, but then I had used like there's not a lot of people of color like in the Dream SMP, but there's like this one South African streamer, Honk, and I had said the word nut brown. And then someone was like, "Oh, don't do that! Don't do that!"
Oh no!
I thought nut brown would be fine because, like, I had first seen it used on a white person who was really tan.
Biddy says, my Indian friend calls herself a burnt chicken nugget. I responded by calling myself an entire uncooked chicken, which I did literally match the color of when pulling up a picture.
Incredibly funny. I think it might fall into one of those things where, like, if you call yourself that, it's a funny haha. But then if someone else calls you something like that, it's creeper shit. I think it's like specifically because it's food.
Yeah, that makes
and people
sense.
will use exotic stuff like coffee and chocolate.
It's odd remembering that those are technically quote unquote exotic.
Yeah.
I think it's largely because they're not marketed as such.
Yeah, because it's just so normalized. But like, yeah, chocolate is a South American product. Coffee is commonly grown in the.
It's a Middle Eastern thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Middle Eastern thing in origin, but it's also commonly grown in the. I think also in South America, it's commonly grown there.
That's a whole issue. I know that's an issue with like worker exploitation.
Yeah.
Of people just not being paid enough for attending these massive coffee plantations.
Yeah. One of the driving reasons behind, forcibly colonizing the American continents was that like, the American continents are really, really great for growing things.
Yeah. Biddy says, I have 7 chocolate-covered caramels next to me, followed by, can we make cheese with all our milk? Oh, that milk. Okay. Yes, we can, but it doesn't sell as well as making pastries. Which I have to pull up how to do that again.
Shaking my head, the aliens don't like cheese.
It's just not as complex a product.
It's not bougie enough to hike up the price.
Make a pie case. That's pastry, which is refined flour and butter.
That was really good.
The refined flour we can get from, so we have 8, so we need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll start that. Then over here we can start on the milk. We'll make cream, and the cream becomes butter. Then the glass grains will become refined flour. And those two together make a pastry. If you cook that, that becomes a pie case, and then the pie case can be combined with a whole bunch of different things. How are these going? These should
I have another Pokemon science fact. Would you want to hear it?
Please tell.
There's a whole genus of pterosaurs called Aerodactylus.
I did not know that, but that makes complete sense.
It's named after Aerodactyl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so tiny. I need to send you a picture of the largest known specimen in this genus.
Please. I think it's genus, not genus.
Genus? Okay. I've sent you the picture. Biddy.
No, I'm going to save this and I'm going to put this on the stream. Give me just a moment.
You're going to put it on the stream?
Yes.
Wait, if you can put multiple images on a screen, let me also share with you the artist restoration.
Just a moment. There it is. There it is. Artist rest. Oh, that's so cute.
Put that artist restoration picture up there with the height chart.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now.
The world needs to know about Aerodactylus.
That's so good. Biddy is just yelling, small! Grabs so gently with one hand, and I have held a bird of that size, and it was such an experience. So small, so gentle. It's so tiny. I love it. I love it so much. And it looks like this held some sort of, maybe an ichthivore? It's got webbed feet. And he says, if I was bit, I would not even mind. A worthy price to pay for small.
Just a little guy.
Just a little guy. It has got teeth. I should know that. Like, not proper teeth, but like those pseudo teeth.
Bird teeth.
It's got beak teeth.
It's got bird teeth, like how geese have.
No, geese actually have completely different teeth.
Oh, really?
So there's 2 different types of bird teeth. There's one where it's an extension of the beak, which is what this little man has.
Yeah.
See it a bit better there.
Oh yeah, geese are more like inside the beak, yeah.
Yeah, and geese teeth are actually part of their tongue.
No, they also have ridges like on the beak. I'm not disputing the tongue teeth. They do have those. They just also have them like on the inner edge of the beak, which is part of why
they do. I forgot
which is
about
part
that.
of why. That's part of why they look so much like teeth, because they're like inside the beak instead of on the outside.
Yeah.
Like in pterosaurs. geese, they hold no love for anyone.
Geese are great.
Just look into a goose's eyes and you know why they were used as guard dogs in rural Taiwan.
The only emotion in there is hatred.
I think the summation of geese is that you look at them, they don't sound like they should look unless you've seen them with their mouths open charging at you. Then they sound exactly like they should.
Biddy says, a goose could gaze into my eyes with hatred and I would love them all the more. That's fair. I mean, hey, I named myself after blue jays. I can't really say much here.
I think my cousin has like a phobia of geese. I don't know if it's like an outright phobia, but the last time I saw her, like, she was always very nervous around geese.
I think that's completely understandable. I wouldn't call that a phobia. I'd call that a completely legitimate fear.
She was in middle school at the time, and like her family has like a dog. So when I was staying over there, we would like walk the dog in the morning and evening. That would be our chore. And where they lived at the time, there's a lot of parks and lakes in the suburbs. So guess where all the fucking geese went? So like she had just been like, while I was off living a completely normal, sleep-filled life, she had to walk to school past these geese every day, and just like heads swiveling towards her as she passed like dystopian security cameras.
Do you know that out of every living animal, geese are the most likely to one day evolve into something akin to a sauropod? They're the only animal that has like all the necessary stuff. Like they could go to sauropod size, and that would actually be feasible.
They've got the legacy DNA.
Not just that, they've got the necks for it, and they've got the feeding behavior for it.
Don't you just love remembering that birds are dinosaurs?
I do.
I love remembering that swans can fuck up your arm just by flapping at you.
Isn't that a myth?
Well, is it a myth?
I've always heard it was.
And swans...
It was like, it's a myth that swans can break your arm.
You approach a swan... Okay, yeah. Okay, the injury is mostly from like they can make you fall over real hard. They can make you fall over hard enough to break shit, but they can't like directly break your bones.
I'd still say that's enough reason to fear them, really.
Yeah.
Biddy says, that sounds like a myth that the swans themselves spread. This. While these are running, we'll check on this. Let's... Come on. Says, found out today it's confirmed that I'll be doing college for 5 years, and I'm filled with sadness that my dream of living in the middle of fuck-off nowhere with a P-Fella ranch is 1 year further away.
I love how it's not impossible and it's just 1 year further away.
Honestly, that's also kind of my dream, is to live, like... I don't want to live completely in the middle of fuck-off nowhere, because I value internet access.
I mean, you can still have internet access and fuck off nowhere.
You can? Well,
the Mongolians are out there with their yurts and have, like, Ethernet cables on their yurts and are farming horses with... They're doing falconry with motorcycles and drones.
Well, yeah, but when you lived in the middle of fuck-off nowhere, we could never actually stream together, because you would always end up crashing 5 minutes in.
Yeah. Flashbacks to my military base proximity internet.
Oh, was it because of the military base? Not just because of the fuck-off nowhere?
I think the military base was probably a large part of that.
That makes sense.
Because, like, the military bases are deliberately set up to be inaccessible as possible.
Yeah. No, I just want to raise chickens, really.
Oh yeah, as far as farming animals go, chickens are pretty solid. It takes work to set them up, but once you have that set up, it's not too hard. You just gotta be consistent about collecting the eggs,
Yeah.
because when you have enough chickens for it to be a stable chicken farm, you will have too many eggs. Like from a minimal chicken farm. You will turn into that guy who keeps giving eggs to neighbors. Because the thing about birds is, like, you can't keep birds on their own for them to be, like... Otherwise they'll become, like...
Milk. Good lord. Sorry.
Bone milk?
Yeah. Apparently that's what bone nuggets turn into. Which are the things that you get from the bone cats. Bone,
That's
bone,
the real...
bone, bone.
That's the...
Bones. Sorry.
New milk brand is dropped. It's like one of those fucking, like, trendy, like, kids yogurt drinks. for when you're like 6 years old, and the school nutritionist, yeah, and the school nutritionist is feeding you, like, the milk propaganda to give you strong bones.
Wait, is it milk? What do you mean milk propaganda?
Okay, milk does have calcium, but it's not like compared to like other foods can give you the bone calcium. Milk isn't unique in that.
What else provides calcium?
Like a good chunk of vegetables do it.
Really?
Yeah, a good chunk of vegetables can give you calcium.
I didn't know that.
the whole got milk shit. It's
Bone butter.
because it works
Anor.
out really great for you.
Bone butter.
Oh, that's a real thing.
Bone butter.
Bone butter's a real
Wait,
thing.
no, okay. Tell me the rest of the milk shit first, and then we can go into bone butter.
Okay, basically, it works out really great for milk companies that schools have milk as a required part of school lunches. That's the long and short of it.
Okay. I mean, I'm not too mad about that.
Like, it really does give you calcium. They're not lying. They're not lying that milk can be beneficial. After all, that's a very ubiquitous drink in several European cultures. And that's why
is now
yeah.
remembering the cheese caves.
Yeah, and that's why like humans have bothered inventing cheese because milk is actually good. It's just not like a monolith of nutrition like the got milk shit is telling you. Like chugging your like mandatory amount of cups of milk per day isn't going to give you stupor bones.
Alright, now tell me about the bone butter.
Okay, so bone marrow is really fatty. So there's a lot of recipes where you can just like they'll tell you how to extract marrow and then process it into basically a butter.
That's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, you can straight up just use it as butter, like cooked marrow.
I mean, it's not great, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Bone marrow is pretty solid as like nutrition wise, because
bones.
Yeah, bone marrow is where blood cells come from. Which is like a really weird place for blood to come from, but that's how it is.
If I add crystal flesh, I get the tooth breaker. Hold on, I need to see if this can be used for anything else.
Need to know more about the tooth breaker.
So you can also make crystalline soup. No, the tooth breaker is the only unique thing you can get from this.
Hmm.
That's still pretty awesome, though.
Bone marrow and bones in general, they're pretty good nutritionally because, it contains the minerals that you need for bones and blood.
Yeah.
Things that you need to live. So for people who are having like mineral deficiencies in those areas, bone broth is a good thing to have. But like the addendum to saying anything like that is because like people always take it as like, oh, there's gonna be one food that's like the monolith of nutrition, and all you need to do is drink that, is like eat or drink that one magical food that will like make you immune to like everything ever.
Yeah. So much quinoa. So much quinoa.
It's like, no, that's just not, it's just not a thing. Certain foods can be very good for you, especially if you're prone to particular deficiencies or illnesses, but like, that's like, you have to take it within the lens of a balanced diet,
Yeah.
like many of the so-called superfoods, it's like they're good if you're actively malnourished and need something that will give you a dense source of a particular set of nutritions. Miso is one of those. Are you familiar with miso?
I am not.
Okay, miso is this it's a is it a paste or a stock? I'm not sure.
Are you asking me?
Like, I know what it is, I'm just not sure like what category it falls under in English. It's a Japanese thing. It's basically fermented soy paste with salt.
What is soy?
Yeah, so it's soy with salt and sometimes like rice,
Like
barley,
soy sauce,
seaweed.
or like?
It's this kind of like powder. It's a seasoning that you have fermented soybeans and salt, and they'll typically have like some rice, barley, and seaweed in it. And you can buy them in like blocks.
Okay. Soybeans and edamame are the same thing, right?
Edamame? Edamame is specifically like unripe soybeans.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. They're like baby soybeans.
I eat those a lot, because I don't eat a lot of meat, and those have good protein.
Yeah, soy is very good when you don't eat meat.
I do eat some, just not enough.
Yeah.
So I usually substitute that with peanut butter and edamame and the like.
So because miso also contains like salt and grains, seaweed, it's got protein from the soy, but it's also got like a lot of other mineral stuff. So back in the day, this was a very important nutritional staple. They would use it to like pickle meats, or they would put it into soup. Basically just a nutrition supplement, essentially.
We are beginning our quest for unconventional travel source. Shit, now I really want edamame. I think we have some upstairs. Commercial unsuccessful. Oh dear. Lighted planet. Ah. Ow. Ow. See the commercial link. When you like first pop in and it gives you like a basic description of the area, it says like economy, commercial, unsuccessful. But he is also saying completely unread. But Anar never actually told me if Mycena has bones. And I just realized that. It's the
giant mushroom lady. Yeah. It's because Biddy asked me if Like, it started with an offhand comment that because Father and Sierra, the founding tyrant of New Jersey, were like both in the same like origin height class, that by the perching physics of the half-stack mod, they are both canonically able to lift each other, which is very funny because Sierra is like 6'3" and Father is a towering 5'3". And then like I sent Biddy a piece of writing, and then Biddy was like, "Huh? So can Father like lift my Senna? Is how dense is my Senna physically?"
The Cleanse of Death. Kill 11 creatures. Mission and Faction Mercenaries Guild. Client a trading agency. Mission info. The client is worried that the free movement of creatures represents a serious microbial hazard. Rounding up large numbers of animals and washing them individually is highly impracticable, so they seek hunters to eliminate both host and germ. That's fucked up.
It's a poaching front.
That sounds about right. I get larval cores for it, though. This one is from the Bureau of Black Holes. The client is seeking to manage local wildlife populations. They are unable to venture planetside due to a medical condition, but will amply reward any explorers who aid their cause. The client leaves the method of extermination solely to the discretion of the hunter. Oh, what is this?
Quote-unquote medical.
I get Korvac staining from it and units. I imagine that's a specific location it wants. But that's a good amount of units.
Biddy, I think the reason I never answered is because I had sent your question. It is, we developed an answer, and then I forgot that I didn't tell you. Because I wanted his opinion on the density of my Senna, and the answer was it would be really funny if she was like super dense, because her entire shtick is like she's the devourer. So like, you know, insert some kind of black hole joke, I don't know. I feel like it says something about Father Raven's love that like every possible like romantic partner we've shown of this guy is like significantly larger.
I think it's just because he's short.
Yeah, that's definitely half of it. But
in my entire adult life, I've only had one close friend that was taller than me. That's not because I have a type. It's just because I'm tall.
Yeah. Well, like, if you think about it, this is also in a setting where, like, Father is not the far end of being a short person.
True. But he says, Father may not have a type, but I sure do.
What's the type, OP? Welcome aboard.
Filmmaker Cycler. But he says,
that sounds like a shit post about
it sounds like a startup.
It sounds like a fucking stonks meme about bicycles.
Biddy says their type is can and possibly would eat me.
Biddy revealing the true reason why they're playing the Kelpie origin.
Biddy says, now I have a survival instinct, but I am going to appreciate from a distance. And also, yes. Mutton dressed as nanites. What?
Huh?
Galactic Hub Cartographers. The client has recently begun a new business. They take ordinary items and help others see the value in them. Primarily, this is accomplished by taking cheap objects and distressing them so they appear to be of historical interest. They seek a new batch of items on which to perform their alchemy. Okay.
The dude sells fake antiques. It's
okay.
very funny.
Skin creatures. Corvax Cube 42. Science involved exozoology, medical products, inefficiency, and absent math. Okay. This is probably going to be like a specific planet one as well.
Nearly 4K units.
That's not a lot.
It's solid for scanning like a few critters.
I approach the lost traveler. Their skin is translucent, as if they were not truly there. Another traveler, Well, we should speak. Have faith. Not all dreams are idle fancies. Not all fictions are untruths. Perhaps all of this is based on something real. Perhaps we did once exist long ago. Proof? Here. Look at this. The traveler removes an object from their exosuit. It looks abstract, crimson, flesh-like, perfect. I look at the object, and I am filled with a sense of hope. Everything will be alright. I know it. Nothing can hurt me. All I have to do is believe and have faith. Not in a deity, not in some universal tyrant. No. In this. Right in front of me. I didn't expect that.
Oh, that's one of the faces of all time.
I did not expect that.
Dude looks like a praying mantis.
Hold. I'm looking for a missing Gek. Perhaps you'd recognize this face. The traveler shows me an image of a Gek. They watch me keenly, explaining that they were hired to find this individual by the Trade Federation itself. The travelers claims they cannot comment. They seem disappointed that I know nothing, and wish me good luck with my journey.
Very intrigued by the dialogue option suggests this is not a Gek.
I wonder if I can... What?!
Whoa, okay.
Trevor Levinus offers directions for a place of interest. Anomalous subspace signal detected.
Oh boy.
Unknown grave. Oh, that's actually useful.
Oh.
So the portals require symbols which can be found at traveler graves, which are very hard to find. The fact that this guy's giving me one for free is actually amazing. High sentinel activity, that's annoying. I should... Oh, I have no tritium once again. There are definitely some structures. Mostly salt. That's odd. Hello.
Oh. Man, there's something up with that guy.
There's a heartbeat to it. Yeah, that's not the guy we talked to, that's the first one we talked to. Trace the signal to Korvax. I wanted to grant with convergence in exchange for the price extraction from my mind. Their wrist recovered. I gained their lied to us. Convergence abets sentinels provided with tribute. Carapace to Korvax help them conceal. They are coming. Fire, please, step back. The fallen traveler's grave is marked with a glyph. An epitaph, some ancient technology. I obtained the glyph, and with it the ability to travel to unknown worlds. I leave the fallen traveler in peace. Glyph 2 of 16.
Interesting.
Concerning a bit. Something is up with the Korvax. Like, we can all agree on that, yeah?
Yeah. They're a little schmurgled. And they don't pay child support.
I mean, that too. Nenfarg, oh my. Oh my. What?
I had to take a second to process that. I was like, processing.
economy and nearly adequate. Conflict leveled. Surveyor warped 20 times. Nice.
Oh, that's a very nice looking planet.
We're getting there. But he says, it seems like they plotted an assassination on this one traveler. Which doesn't bode well for us, considering the whole travelers are a disease that will destroy us all thing.
I think if I could make more birds in Minecraft. Ducks.
Ooh, yes.
Just because it feels weird, there aren't ducks.
You should make a bird of prey species, have it be incredibly rare, and then when you find it, it's the most annoying noise ever. But, like, don't tell anyone that it's annoying. Just be like, there's this super rare bird of prey. Let's see, the client has discovered disturbing information. The leader of the Sentinel Force, far from being neutral, is acting to further the agenda of a shadowy Gek cabal. Regardless of the merit of this belief, the client is willing to reward any who help fight this conspiracy. Oh
no.
Yeah, alright, sure. This one, I forgot about. Okay. Mission info. The client is tired of being humiliated by local wildlife. Every time they set foot upon a world, they can feel the mocking compound eyes stares burning into them. The passive-aggressive hoof-stomping ringing the ears. Teach these creatures a lesson. They're smug there. They're smug, gay as mocks me.
I don't care for this dog. It's smug or mocks me.
Oh my god. Oh, hello. Oh, you've got big eyes as well. Those, certainly are some eyes.
It's gotta be one of the eyes of time.
I approached the lost traveler. The skin is translucent as if they were not truly there. Who do you serve? Which baron is master of this place? The traveler's appearance, their manner, the way they speak, all of them feel archaic, like nothing I have heard before. They repeat their question, threatening to draw their multi-sword. Yes, I am the baron of this place. The traveler grows nervous immediately, their demeanor changing to one of begrudging respect. They claim to have a message from the great king. I am warned to bend a knee or face destruction. They give me a gift as a token of the riches that await me should I come to a just and wise decision. And I got some nanites. Yeah, you do that, pal.
Good luck with that, buddy.
Get instantly nervous and then going, yeah, I'm a messenger of the king. Show me some respect.
Just stole money from a time-traveling ghost, Pog. And once again, that's a nice-looking planet. It's a lovely shade of green, and it combines well with the clouds.
Oh, that's... There we go. One, two, three, four. Oh, it's a lot further than we thought. It just is.
The sun boy jumps.
Yup! Oh god, this is a lot.
This is gonna be a road trip and a half.
Yup!
We're taking that red-eye flight, baby.
Nope. Ow. Hey, look, free tritium. Ooh, and a tritium hypercluster. I need some of those.
Why are you randomly getting minerals?
Because I keep crashing into asteroids.
Oh, so it's counting that as harvesting the asteroid?
Yup.
It's a little funny.
We're gonna have a full inventory by the time we're done with this. Good lord. Or like all the inventory slots. Oh, got another trapper in here. Let's see what quests we got. Kill 3 sentinels. Antimatter containment agency. The client has innocently stumbled upon a large number of animal carcasses, a bounty of harvestable resources. However, sentinel forces are making it inconvenient to collect this windfall. Ensure nothing is wasted by distracting sentinels and allowing the client to make their collection.
Poachers.
Hey, can you distract the cops while I collect these animals I definitely totally didn't kill?
I'm totally not a poacher, man.
Biddy says, OP, why do you want rotting animal carcasses? Bones.
Bones.
Don't select that. I want to select that. There we go.
Greetings, stranger under the light. I'm a normal abiding citizen collecting some bones.
I think it's just getting further, like, the line just keeps extending every jump we make.
Absolutely horrific.
this is our maiden area. That's how far away we are right now.
Absolutely horrific. I don't know what unholy voice I unlocked to do that.
It was definitely something. Ah! Ah! No, go away. Let me click elsewhere. No! There we go.
Oh, you accidentally like clicked off the game. Is that what happened?
No, it's 12 o'clock. My alarm went off, but I couldn't pause the game to turn it off.
Oh yeah. On that note, you've jumped. You have completed the jump.
Yes, I know.
Oh. Spooky jump.
Okay.
It's been 1,000 years.
It just says fucking Rainbow Sherbert Solar System. All of these are labeled Cycler, and I don't know why.
It's just like the Raspberry Wine Nebula.
Cycler mean? I don't know! It's just what the stations are called, apparently. This one has a hat.
Jay, do you know about the Raspberry Wine Nebula?
Raspberry Lime Nebula. I don't believe so.
So, there's this big dust cloud near the center of the Milky Way.
Uh-huh.
And it was 2009, I think, and like astronomers were able to identify the chemical makeup of this big cloud in the center of the Milky Way, which contains ethyl formate. Ethyl formate happens to be the chemical responsible for the flavor of raspberries.
Really?
There's a cloud in the center of the Milky Way
that tastes like raspberries.
And smells like rum.
And it smells like rum?
Yes.
Why rum?
Oh, because ethyl formate, like, almost always smells like rum, like fruit alcohol.
Huh. This is going to take the entirety of today's game just to get to the freaking adoption agency.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
To find the specifics of this fact I gave you, I put into Google nebula that tastes like raspberries, and Google sure delivered. And the people also ask section of Google for the search result sure is interesting. I'm getting things like, does space smell like burnt steak?
That is actually a thing. I don't remember the details, but I remember that being a whole thing.
And when I click, does space smell like burnt steak? Apparently multiple astronauts claim that the vacuum of space smells a lot like burning metal and steak. Which, like, I'm wondering if that's just, like, that could be, like, the fucking outer ozone of the Earth. I don't know. Or, like, because their fucking space station is a giant piece of metal that's constantly blazed at by the sun.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, when we say space smells like burnt steak, it's like the huge caveat of astronauts in a spaceship constantly being beamed at by the full intensity of the sun open the hatch of their spaceship, their giant metal spaceship, and say, kind of smells like burning metal and steak.
Alright, I'm doing some research. And it says, once the growing singularity matures into the singularity core, which it already has, player will have another space encounter with a strange spaceship and receive portal coordinates in Euclid. Which I think we are in the Euclid system. Because that's where you spawn, and I don't know how we would have left.
What?
And it says that the portal address goes to a specific place. Like, all players are sent to this one planet, which is probably why it's so freaking far away from us, just by random chance. And then there's a whole thing afterwards.
So it has to be a specifically generated planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't have all the glyphs, and we don't have access to the portals.
Okay.
So I'm now researching how to get to that.
Why are people asking if you can get pregnant in space? I don't think gravity affects whether or not you can fuck. Like, it'll probably affect how you can give birth in space, but definitely not the mechanical ability to become pregnant. The reason that there's an answer to this question is apparently scientists have been making animals fuck in space.
That makes sense. Okay, so apparently the ability to activate a portal is taught to the player in the Artemis Path storyline. All glyphs can be found within traveler graves beforehand and subsequently used to travel anywhere inside the galaxy. So we need to continue the Artemis quest, and we need to find all 16 glyphs before we can finish the Sunboy quest.
I'm immediately disappointed in these studies about animals fucking in space because the first thing they did was check on if dicks still work, and then they're like, and then they have not checked if eggs will still work.
Hold on. The hunter, the reflection. Hunter. This is a code. This bit here, these are all names of portal glyphs. The hunter is a bird. The reflection is a mirrored image. The spiral of reality is a galaxy symbol. The star of the water is a sunset. Let's see, the ascending orb is a balloon. The obscured companion is an eclipse. The lowly insect is a bug. The anomaly is a voxel shape. The sailor is a boat. The ocean king is a fish. And then I have to be in the Euclid system. Biddy says the two completely different things happening here is very funny to watch. Yeah, we really
figuring out like your adopted son's like coded space Bible message. Meanwhile, I'm talking about the disappointments of space sex studies.
It all ties back to space.
To be fair, they're both conversations about space.
Yeah. I have to grab my charger a second. Hold on. I also need to grab some water. Really? Really?
Yeah.
I got my MRIs back. Good news. Well, interesting news.
I'm gonna be right back because I'm legitimately craving edamame, and also I do need to eat at some point. So, yes.
Jay, I need to tell you the funniest part of this article. There's first off, there's a lot happening to this article just in the premise, but the whole study. Actually, I don't know if you're there, so I'm gonna reserve all further comments. And I never finished this Tumblr ask about drugs. Let me deal with that.
I'm back. Update, I couldn't find any edamame, but I did find some cauliflower rice, so I guess I'm having that now.
You know, as one does.
Anyways, I guess we're doing this now, because that's part of the Artemis quest. Unless either of you want to investigate any of the other quests, such as Atlas Path, Dreams of the Deep, Trace of Metal, or Under a Rebel Star. Or any of the Gundad Farmer or Overseer quests. Actually, I'm going to write down in the chat. So...
Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, so those are our options for quest lines, with the consideration that the Apollo Artemis one will slowly but surely get us closer to Egg Sun.
In an astounding turn of events, we will need to progress the actual storyline of the game in order to do this weird endgame quest.
Correct. So vote now on your mobile phones.
Make house big.
So Aner votes make house big, Biddy votes sun but plant. Followed by how could you make me choose this like this OP. Alright, we'll head back to base then. Wrong side. So Biddy is voting for oh, shit!
What?
I almost got crushed by a spaceship, no big deal. It's a cool... Okay, this is actually really cool looking. I kind of want to... Yes, hell yes, I'm hiring this man. Robot. Recruit Lifeform Squadron. Ooh, Tier B. Leadership potential above average. Starship management good. Confidence average. Swashbuckling average. Confirmed kills 21, but close to retirement. Okay, I need to do some research on this a second. Oh, that's done.
I like how the Korvax are a hive mind, but then you go to pirate bases and you see pirate Korvax. Like, what's the implications of that?
Freighter. Sees more squadron. Pilot. Bring with pilot their ships to succeed if the player wants to invest. It's worth going for a higher rated ship and pilot, but if players simply want to recruit something upgrade later. Actually, I'm getting that. Okay. So I can switch these out later. But for now, I'm just gonna go with this. Biddy says, everyone has their darker fixations and echoes of intrusive thoughts. Preceded by, man, the panache in announcing the number of kills you have to a random person that wants to hire you. Take it.
Biddy, are you referring to my thought bubble of why are there pirate Korvax?
Yes, I think that's
in a hive mind species.
I think that's what they meant by everyone has their darker fixations and echoes of intrusive thoughts. It is, yes. Oh. Good intelligence.
136.
Unrivaled spatial awareness. Outstanding charisma. Bad flyer, though. Don't care. Have you seen their charisma, though? Yeah, 136 confirmed kills. How many of those were intentional? Oh, God. What does that mean, Biddy?
136 dead because this man graduated from the Harthian School of Pilots.
God. One day, if I ever have, like, an actual following, we're still gonna be making jokes about the Harthians. And people who are new are gonna be like, what are they talking about?
Meanwhile, the Outer Wilds and Dressel will know. They'll know.
They'll know. Bad flyer with 136 people killed and hell of a charisma. I mean, it did manage to get me to hire him, so...
I want to tell you the funniest thing about this article about the space sex.
Yeah.
Now, a new study published in PNAS.
I love Man, I love scientists. Alright.
Basically, like...
Gravitino host. We need magnetized ferret, we need a bunch of silver, and we need mag metal.
A magnetized ferret, you say?
Ferrite. It's iron. It's not a magnetized ferret. Alright, how do I think I can get more silver just by breaking asteroids.
New half-stack mob. Magnetized
ferret. Oh, right, let's see.
I think I would add vultures to Minecraft.
Oh?
Specifically because Minecraft Dungeons has them.
Oh.
And also I would...
Biddy, I fixed the biofuel reactors. I fixed the positioning of them. Because 2 of them were facing a different angle than all the rest. And Biddy pointed it out last stream, like, that's horrible. And I went, you're right, that is horrible, but I can't fix it right now. Sorry.
The other thing I would do is make, like, dog varieties. Because, like, why are there 9 different cats and then just... dog? Why is the dog texture not even, like, different from a wolf? It just has slightly bigger eyes.
I didn't even know it had different eyes. It's actually kind of funny. It's got them anime eyes.
Yeah. It has puppy eyes, if you will.
Yeah, his eyes in the collar, but he says.
Yeah. You can change the color of the collar.
I did know that. Alright, we also need to build, this, which, oh, we just need my 5 mil plating for that. That's not hard. And while we're here, might as well. Oh, it's backwards. Dang it.
Can you move it?
Oh, is it not back? I can't tell if it's backwards or not. This seems to be facing towards me. Okay, it was facing backwards then. God, I forgot how bad this thing is to control.
Absolutely horrific to control.
Alright, summon Exocraft. Here we go. Exocraft modifications. What we want is we actually want some of these. That'll do.
You know, to match the sun boy.
Well, yes, and also because we need to install this. Just have to put that there for now and worry about it later. We also need to build the Nautilon, but we need to build that by water. So right now, I just need to go out in space and get some silver from asteroids. And try not to forget the fact that I have food in the microwave. Because last time I did that, my entire room smelled like cauliflower.
I do recall this. So the study is like, apparently they've never done like an entire pregnancy thing in space with an animal. Like, they've had animals give birth in space, or be fertilized in space and then sent back. But they've never like done the whole thing.
Wasn't there a whole thing about having like generations of jellyfish live in space?
I don't recall.
Or like, I remember this being a thing, but I don't remember any of the details. And there was a whole thing about like the jellyfish, when they came back, were like super disoriented because they had never lived with gravity before.
Oh, So this delightful study, published in PNAS.
Yeah. The incredibly
Basically-
respectable science paper, PNAS.
Yes. Basically, they launch freeze-dried sperm into space. Kept it there. Did that sentence just break you? They had to freeze it at first.
Oh god, I'm kidding.
The way they worded it in this article too, they decided to have the sperm freeze dried, just like instant coffee.
What? What does this have to do with coffee?
They could have just ended it at freeze dry, but no, they had to do karma, just like instant coffee.
Why did they not just send a male animal? Why did they have to send the sperm?
I guess it's like so they didn't have to take care of an animal. So,
God, I know they mean like they sent it up in a rocket, but there's such a mental image of just yeeting fucking freeze-dried sperm into space. Be free!
So it's mouse sperm, and they had this the instant coffee mouse sperm spends like a little under a year on the International Space Station, and they shoot it back to Earth, and then they fertilize. They fertilize female mice with the instant coffee.
The instant coffee space sperm.
Yeah, and they have a control group of like normal sperm.
That didn't get freeze dried.
Yeah, they didn't get freeze dried and launched into space for a year. So they wanted to see like how apparently the sperm that was sent into fucking space was like degraded.
Well, no kidding. They freeze dried it and sent it to a space station. Of course it's freaking degraded. I'd be amazed if it wasn't.
Yeah. But when they fertilized a mouse egg with it, the sperm, like, kind of basically repaired. Essentially, like, the egg compensated for the...
Yeah, was the control group a year old and freeze-dried as well?
Yeah, they don't say. I'm really curious. It's like this DNA degradation could have been the fucking... Because it's freeze-dried and a year old.
Yeah, it could have nothing to do with the fact that it was launched to space.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was in the process.
And also, like, they only studied, like, space sperm. They didn't, There's a tree in your house.
I was gone for 5 minutes.
There's a tree in your house.
I went to Walmart to pick up some silver. And in the process, forgot I was going to build... Oh yeah, the Gravitino thing. Okay. I really need to expand my growing area.
Yeah. My
Actually, no.
is
you know
like,
what? This is a good opportunity for me to build another base.
Oh, on another
planet, yeah. We've got so many now. It's a little bit...
Can you hire more people for the other base?
No, but you can summon them. They just appear at their station.
So you only get, like, one set of crew, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. My disappointment is, like, they only tried to study, like, sperm in space, and then, like, nothing about eggs in space.
Yeah.
Which really tells you something about the priorities here. Because, like, if you're studying reproduction in space, which, like, obviously the immediate thing you're thinking about is, like, colonization of other planets.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the eggs might be, like, just a little bit more important, because those are the ones that, like, form the whole ass human body. And this initial study already proves that the integrity of the eggs are way more crucial than the integrity of the sperm, because Because these sperm that have been freeze-dried and shot into space for a year.
Like instant coffee.
Yeah. The instant copying of sperm was, like, repaired by a healthy egg.
The planet's called Rotat. It's
Which
Ronatat, but whatever.
Yeah. And they're also saying that, like, the resulting mice were healthy and fertile. Which is, like...
Yeah.
So clearly this initial study, as fucked as it was, is seemingly proving that, like, that if you have to prioritize one of the two, you should probably prioritize the integrity of the eggs in order to create healthy human offspring in space. And not even in space, just like, because this isn't about giving birth in space, this particular study, it's about what happens to your cells via space travel.
Biddy says, then again, they basically discovered that they could just only bring females of the species and freeze-dry the rest. Oh, goodness, there's one of these right here.
When they were doing studies to like formulate space crews for with the hypothetical of colonizing other planets, the female always seems to get a lot better in terms of like being able to not lose their fucking minds at each other.
Oof.
When in a confined space with no other people for a long ass time.
Yeah, weird. Can't imagine why that might happen.
Like they were able to like get along and be more productive, like better than say like a male dominated team. Which, what the fuck is that hologram?
I was waiting for you to notice.
It's automatons. Goddamn automatons. I'm assuming those are like heads.
Yeah, they're Gek heads.
It's just like the way that there's like no other facial features
except the mouth.
But the mouth and their round heads.
They've got eyes, sort of.
Yeah, they're just not rendered or anything. I love that they have the fucking stalks.
What? Stalk?
Oh, when you look under the head.
Those are stock. Yeah, well, it's Gak. What do you expect?
Yeah.
They're basically Ferengi.
Yeah. I love that little detail.
Yes, it is a very cool detail.
Yeah.
There. The person's name is just Laura.
Hello, Laura. What a lovely name. My very unprofessional opinion about the study about space crew genders is like, I don't think it's that like human females are like just. I don't think they're biologically more cooperative. It's just
no. It's entirely a matter of how people are raised.
Yeah.
Wall of flame detected. Interesting. Will this protect me? Am I inside a building?
Hopefully.
I am. I'm gonna go get my rice cauliflower a second.
Yeah. Da-da, 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 da-da-da.
I have returned. The only spoon I could find was an ice cream spoon, which is like... The spoon part is about the size of my thumb, and the length of the handle is about the length of my entire hand.
Oh, that's what those spoons are for.
Well, the ice cream shop near here serves their flurries in like really tall cups.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to eat it with a spoon like this. So I don't know if they have... Yeah, it's a shake spoon.
Oh, a mixing spoon, that's what it's called.
I've got all plastic diningware for my downstairs kitchen because, like, it's cheaper and you can throw it away if it breaks and you can clean it again. It's definitely a lot flimsier, but it does work. Although it does occasionally melt if you try to make a baked potato with it. I don't know why people make baked potatoes in the oven anymore. It literally takes like 6 minutes to make them in a microwave, and they taste the same.
Well, it's because ovens are a bit more like versatile in their reheating.
Yeah, but it takes like hours to make it in the oven when you're going to get the same result in like less than 10 minutes.
There's miniature ovens.
True.
I was gonna do a funny while you're gone. I was gonna start singing Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire while the firewall was outside of the building you were standing in. No, it's fine.
Okay, let's get this later. Let's just find it good. I don't know if I like this planet as much. I haven't checked the other ones out in this system.
I was gonna do the funny of saying Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire, but I'd spent too long thinking about the sentence that I was kind of saying about the fucking astronaut teams.
Yeah, I agree with Biddy that it's like it's a matter of toxic masculinity more than it is any genetic thing.
It's not biology in the slightest.
Oh, hello. 850k gold, 850k units, 300 gold, or 1 Gek nip. I've not really found anything that on its own is more than 850k, but also I am curious. Ancestral wine. Yep, it's way cheaper. God damn it. Oh well. This one has high sentinel activity, but if it has storm crystals, that's absolutely worth it.
Speaking of the biological differences between the sexes and their capabilities, like once every 5 years, some scientist will come out with a study that's like oh, we've proven that like women and men don't have a difference in intelligence, and like they're equal in their ability to do like math and STEM field shit, and everyone like loses their minds like it's new research, and then forget about it until 5 years later, and then another study comes out saying the exact same fucking thing.
Yikes. What is going on with this planet?
It appears to be on fire.
Yeah, I noticed that. But it's also got high sentinel activity, which means there's something good here.
Maybe it's in those weird rock towers that I'm seeing.
I think those are just normal mineral formations.
But what if they're not?
There's a buried thingam here.
What if the funny rock towers are hiding something delicious?
I will scan the funny rock towers. Incendiary dust, sentinels require full obedience. Or just require obedience, and then that's... Oh, hey look, it's a mineral. I don't think this is even a storm. I think this place is just like this.
Yep.
Oh boy, we got another one of these things. Oh, it does say there's a storm? Okay. Oh, yep, there it is. Here we go. Nope, that's fingers. Then there's the gravitational balls that spawn around there. What does this place have that's so worth protecting?
Wow, you are running out of heat protection really fast.
I'm aware.
On the planet. At least during this firestorm.
Yeah. I'll wait for it to fade and then see what things are like.
Yeah. Well, love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring.
There it is.
Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a ring of fire. I went down, 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 flames on high, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Still pretty hot. I'm not seeing any indications of storm crystals. And it's honest, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. It's an okay planet. What? Oh.
That quote is brutal.
I don't know what just happened.
I think he just got blasted.
Well, I need to recover my grave first. Yeah, I don't know what I got killed by.
Well, they just started shooting at you, so I think you just got shot to death.
Yeah, by whom?
Well, there was a shadow of something flying ahead, and then like a ship in like the right-hand corners.
I was only coming over here because there's freaking cactus. And we need some of that.
What does the cactus do?
It's another, like, plant, resource, and it can be used for crafting stuff as well as for cooking. Specifically, it can be turned into cactus gel, which can be turned into a sugar. Which, as you can imagine, is necessary for a lot of different recipes.
No, it's like a jellyfish.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's, it looks bad.
Bad to look at.
Bad to look at. Can you ride it, says Biddy. What makes you think I would want to? Alright, we're just gonna gather the echinocactus and then we are gonna book it. I've not found anything here worth staying for.
Nuclear waste message voice. This place is not a place of honor.
God. Yeah, no, I got fucking shot. I kind of noticed that.
Do you know what I'm referencing?
To an extent, yeah. Like, the whole, like, we need to figure out a way to get people in the future to not fuck with nuclear waste sites.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more of them over there. God damn it.
The message is, this place is a message and part of a system of messages. Pay attention to it. Sending this message was important to us. We consider ourselves to be a powerful culture. This place is not a place of honor. No highly esteemed deed is commemorated here. Nothing valued is here. What is here was dangerous and repulsive to us. This message is a warning about danger. The danger is in a particular location. It increases towards a center. The center of danger is here, of a particular size and shape and below us. The danger is still present in your time, as it was in ours. The danger is to the body and it can kill. The form of the danger is an emanation of energy. The danger is unleashed only if you substantially disturb this place physically. This place is best shunned and left uninhabited.
God.
So basically, it's like a whole thing trying to figure out how, like in the event that that modern society like loses information or collapses, people want to figure out a way to communicate the danger of nuclear sites
Without making people curious.
Yeah, in a way that might like transcend language.
I remember one of them was basically cover the place in foreboding spikes. My favorite one was start a religion.
Or literally.
Because the whole idea is religion is the oldest form of knowledge communication. And if we were to have a single thing around, in this case, the idea of when if a cat starts glowing, you need to get out of there because you are in danger. And then make it so that all cats have a gene that makes them start to glow when they're in the presence of radiation.
Yeah, so it's like they're trying to figure out, like, because if you've reached the stage where people no longer know how to recognize the danger of radiation, you've probably reached a stage where modern human languages aren't, like, legible.
Yeah.
To whoever those people are now. So they're trying to figure out ways to communicate the dangers of nuclear weapons to people who
have
no longer know what
radiation is.
Yeah, like no longer know what radiation is, and to probably no longer read or speak the languages currently available.
Yeah. I don't know why, but flying over water like this always makes me feel very cool.
Just a cool thing to do. Other suggestions beyond make everything spiky is that, like, cover the whole place in concrete that's, like, unfarmable, basically.
Yeah.
Make the land unusable to discourage people from going there or settling there.
Yeah, but then people are going to be like, ooh, cool place to build.
The next level of concrete block is forbidding blocks.
In which, giant spikes and shit.
No. Which, like, on top of having, like, a massive concrete thing, put these, like, random-ass giant stone squares, which create a grid that leads nowhere, which, A, turns it into a fucking maze, and B, makes it, like, utterly uninhabitable.
Yeah.
You can't build there because there's just a bunch of whack-ass squares.
That would definitely help with, like, a cultural fear around it.
Yeah.
The idea of, like, if you enter there, not only will you likely get lost, but if you ever come back, you're gonna die fairly soon.
Yeah.
Because by the point that you've gotten out, if you ever do, it's affected you enough.
Yeah. I've reached a section where they talk about the religion thing that you mentioned. The atomic priesthood, TM. And they're talking about, like, the problems with this message. Oop, what happened?
1 o'clock.
Okay. Your alarm went off again?
Yeah.
And now, back to the cons of the atomic priesthood.
Yeah.
So, it's like, they're like, this approach has a number of critical problems. Number one, an atomic priesthood. Every time they type the phrase atomic priesthood, they italicize it, which makes it a little funny to me.
It's the most Fallout phrase I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Like, it puts this, like, weird little flourish on it. It's like, an atomic priesthood. Ooh. Like, having this religion would mean that, like many religions who have like, culturally critical messages, it would gain political influence based on the contingencies that it would oversee. So having this religion in place...
Same way that, like, vaccines have become a political thing.
Yeah. It's like... They specifically draw comparisons to, like, the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Like, the Catholic Church held power over Europe for many, many centuries because they offered themselves as, like, the sole window to the safety of your eternal soul.
Yeah.
And the atomic priesthood would be, we're the only thing keeping the mysterious ground demons from killing you all.
Yeah.
So that's the first con. And then the second con is that retaining information through religion creates hierarchy and secrecy. Because that's the nature of many religions, especially like closed practices. Are you familiar with open versus closed practice?
Yeah, that's a whole issue with studying ancient Greek religions. They had mystery cults.
Yeah.
Like, the knowledge of the actual practices was only accessible to, like, the inner few.
And then never written down to help keep it secret.
Yeah.
So, because of, like, the complexity of preserving the knowledge and counter measures against nuclear fuckery, there's a strong chance you would end up with, like, different levels of initiates and mystery religions, yeah?
Yeah.
Third con, religious divergence. Religions will modify and split over time, which creates the possibility that the original information of the atomic could get fragmented into separate parts. Which means that even though the collectively there's no loss of information, there's no one group that knows enough to be effective. And then number 4, like, intentionally or unintentionally, you're restricting public safety information to a specific group of people, which could create, like, a class of privilege, which, one, either those people could exploit, or people outside the quote-unquote atomic priesthood not understanding the
very message you've been trying to preserve.
Yeah, people outside the group not understanding the nature of it could attempt to, like, seize the information by force, destroy the information, or, like, misunderstand it as a possible weapon.
Yeah, Biddy brings up the possibility of the thing here must be guarded becoming the group just living there.
Yeah.
Alright, this looks like it's going to be a good enough spot to set up camp. Once the fucking ring of fire goes away.
Which one of you brought up the radioactive cats thing?
Me.
Do you know about the musician who specifically wrote a song designed to be a hypothetical
I think I've heard about that, yeah.
a hypothetical folk song to pass down the knowledge of the radioactive cat.
The concern there is that people wouldn't process that as these cats are an indication that something bad is going to happen, but as these cats kill people. Thus eliminating the cats they see, or eliminating any cats they see glow, resulting in that whole process just not being a thing anymore because they killed all the glowing cats.
Yeah.
Which, going back to Pokemon a bit, makes me wonder how the fuck Absol still exists, because his whole thing is only appearing as an omen of disaster.
Yeah. Well, one of the solutions proposed is that you have, like, around the area of the storage site, you have a circle in the ground that's of the most important global languages, but then as society moves on, you keep adding more and more languages in bigger and bigger circles outside.
Oh, like a giant Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, like a giant Rosetta Stone.
But all of them with the same warning.
The same warning, but updated with, like, the most common languages over time. So that the farther away you are, the newer the language is, thus the more likely someone will be able to understand it.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's like a pink fairy armadillo. But it's a sea turtle!
Ah!
I love it.
Oh, it's a little guy.
Alright, this has single-handedly cemented my decision to live here.
The presence of little guy.
Alright, so we've got those in the distance. Then there's a silver, so that's 1,000 units away. That's 400. There's one that's only 177 units away. Another building over there.
Another proposal for deterrence is that, like, construct the storage locations in such a way that you have to use advanced technology to be able to open it. Thus, if society loses that capacity for technology, it fucks up the ability to get to the storage.
Yeah.
But if the culture has the ability to get in, they probably also have the ability to detect shitty energy spikes. So make it so that if they have the ability to get in, they also need to be advanced enough to, like...
know that it's a bad idea to do so.
Yeah. Basically make it so that if you would know how to get in, you would have to be advanced enough to know why you shouldn't.
Honestly, just building a giant fucking concrete block around it seems, and then, like, basically putting a fucking mountain on top of that seems the most rational. Yeah, it's a good point. Mines exist, and people dig through mountains.
Yeah. this entire field of study about like how to communicate the dangers of nuclear waste, like specifically like to last like 10,000 years. It's so legitimately fascinating.
It really is.
And also, I should steal this for like for hashtag and orc lore. I knew about this field of study before I started writing orc because I once wrote a paper about like the post-apocalypse as a genre, and I'd made a point that like a lot of post-apocalypse about like extreme world-ending are rooted in the cultural fear of nuclear war, regardless of whether or not the supposed apocalypse in question is made by nukes. The idea that the world can end with such a minor singular decision is that's
terrifying.
that's the only reason it's in the human psyche in the first place is because of nuclear warfare.
I mean, I do think there have been some pre-nuke post-apocalypse story. They were,
oh yeah,
I think, few.
But I mean, like the specific flavor of apocalypse.
Yeah.
Where an incredibly minor human decision, or just like one small-scale disaster, fucks up the entire world. Like the reason that it's realistic is because of nuclear warfare, proving that it's a thing that can happen. Because, you know, when you have world-ending shit, like, when you look at the older stuff, like, imagine the Norse text, you're vaguely familiar with, like, Ragnarok, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do know the prose edda in this.
Yeah. I like that I can just say that and already reasonably know the answer's gonna be yes.
It's really a very good thing. Like, the fact that I can just mention stuff and you're like, I know what that is, and I don't have to explain the entire concept.
Yeah. I can just slide over like, you're familiar with the prose edda, yes? It's like, you think about that, that's pretty staple for like usual world-ending lore. Like, it's this long, drawn-out thing over decades and centuries, and it has like a lot of big stages to build up the big destruction. Because, you know, that was the human understanding of how you could reach that level of destruction. And nowadays, you don't need that. You just need one bad decision. And boom, there goes the world. And it's not unrealistic in the suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did write a paper on how, like, how nuclear warfare and specifically the Cold War affected the post-apocalyptic genre. And that's how I learned about these nuclear waste messages. I had considered that, like, because when I brought up the idea of the hashtag server, I said I would have, like, accessible portals that are, like, big enough for anybody to go into. And so Nether Origins can leave if they don't want to be in the Nether. And I had wanted to do this thing for the Nether portals on the Nether end that I wasn't going to tell anybody about. And it was going to be me writing the nuclear launcher, the fucking nuclear waste message. Like, this is not a place of honor. And I was going to put it only on the Nether side entrance, not the open one.
Oh. is interesting.
Yeah. Because, like, you know, piglins go into the overworld and they fucking die.
Yeah.
Like, we've made subsequent lore now that there's, like, a rot vaccine and whatever. Which kind of, like, mitigates that somewhat. But I think it would be fun to do that with, like, ruined portals. Because we do have that lore of, like, when there was first contact, a lot of people got fucked off because of the disease transfer. So that they had to do really restricted travel and distance communication for a while.
Biddy says, I mean, there's only 2 beers here. That could still happen.
I had that whole blurb where, like, nether overworld communication, like, people weren't even seeing each other, they were just, like, throwing packages back and forth through nether portals. But, like, even though the nether is so much less angsty as a concept in Halfstack, I still do associate that, like, this place is not a place of honor with, like, stuff in the nether.
Yeah.
Mostly because there's just so much more apocalyptic implications in the nether. Like the Geiger counters in the nether soundtrack.
Yeah, that actually, like, fully freaked me out.
Yeah. I think I was the one to tell you that, right?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Because it's like...
It is definitely possible, though. Really? That only goes in the center? That's annoying.
I think it was like, you were giving me a tour of, like, the nether tunnel that you had made on the Yearwalker server.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned, like, the nether feels inherently claustrophobic to you. And I had mentioned, like, the fucking vacuum, and it was like, oh yeah, there's a Geiger counter in the soundtrack.
That sounds right, yeah.
So, like, it's the combination of that and the ruined portals you can find.
Oh, the pink fairy turtle glows.
Ah. It is so pleasant to look at.
It really is.
Such a pleasant creature. Like, when you look at the architecture of ruined portals versus the portals that players make in you, it's so... Like, you're familiar with the look of naturally spawning portals?
Yeah, they're like, there's bits broken out of them, and there's, like, part of the nether almost, like, overflows into them.
Yeah. They're kind of more square. They often have iron bars around the frame and blocks of gold.
It's very simple, but we have the base of we have the frame of a proper base already. We just need so much metal.
I find it very interesting that they had gold blocks on the frames of ruined portals.
Yeah. It is odd.
And it's like, they have, not all of them have it, but like, many of them have stone frames, like, put against the portal with iron bars in between, which, with the incomplete construction, makes it look like the portal is, like,
Barred off.
hanging suspended with
Oh.
iron. Like, it doesn't, like, the portals aren't touching the ground. They're quarantined with stairs and, like, being hung off of iron bars.
Really? I mean, that's actually, like, how I built the nether portal in,
Yeah, in the
Yearwalkers.
fucking lava. Yeah, in the lava castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, ruined portals have that same logic.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
The smaller ones don't, but, like, the bigger, more complete ones very much do.
Huh.
Oh yeah, some of them do have, like, chain blocks even. Not just defense blocks. Some of them also have iron chains. This is combined with the blaze spawners and the bastions you can find. It makes me think that, like, it was probably the Nether that did forced contact rather than the overworld doing it.
Check it out. I got a funky new arm.
Funky new arm?
Yeah.
Ho ho. Nice.
The right arm is upgraded.
It's looking a little chunkier. Just perches. It loafs like a cat.
It does.
But, like, in the case of Orp, it was like, it used to be that the end was the more technologically advanced society, and they got killed off by war, leaving the overworld the most advanced, and then they, like, breached to the Nether for resources, found people, and freaked the fuck out because war trauma, and started another war.
Oh god.
But in Half-Stack, I'm thinking that, like, especially because we had that very big brain realization that piglins can just be, like, the dwarves of Half-Stack. Were you there for this realization?
Not really, but I just realized that I have to wait another 2 hours for this to be done.
Over. So, the Half-Stack chat and I, mostly the guy that's maining piglins, like, they and I came to that realization that the vibes we were creating for Half-Stack piglins are very much like the Tolkien dwarves. And once we realized that, we just fully leaned into it. It started with me mentioning that, like, because I was talking about the updating the piglin skins to have, like, actual clothes.
Yeah.
And we were giving them relatively refined clothes, too. And I'm like, they live underground, they're obsessed with metal, they have evidence of complex mechanics and big giant stone castles. And I was like, oh wait, they're just dwarves. I think it was because I was saying they're not orcs. I had started with saying they're not orcs.
And then realizing, but they are dwarves.
Yeah. Which was the greatest thing.
Alright, so we're waiting on agricultural research.
Yeah.
Aner, what was your vote for? I have no recollection.
Expand base.
Mm-hmm. Circuit board needs heat capacitor and polyfiber. Polyfiber needs cactus bulb and star bulb. Frost crystal, selenium. So that's this, and this.
So I'm thinking that since we're already having that whole vibe of like Piglin technology basically being the Dwarven technology,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if like the pre-collapse Piglin society was the most technologically advanced out of all of them, and maybe they were the ones to create the original portals. Though, caveat, like the collapse of the post-apocalyptic collapse of Piglin society has nothing to do with like first
Digging
contact
too
or
deep.
yeah. It was like entirely another contained problem. It was just capitalism. Nothing profound happened. It wasn't even the rot that did it. It was just capitalism.
Amazing.
It's like capitalism had weakened Piglin society enough that dragons showed up.
they really are dwarves.
Yeah, dragons basically showed up while they were having their civil wars and just plundered. Because even though the Draconis origin doesn't spawn in the Nether, I did deliberately make them a Nether compatible origin. It's something I did do with a number of origins that, like, even though only the quote-unquote Netherworlders spawn in the Nether, it's not that all the rest of the origins are designed for the overworld specifically. I was thinking in my mind for certain origins how they could be compatible in other dimensions, which especially in the foods that they're able to eat, and what foods I deliberately decided to include in diets. The dragons could pretty much live in every dimension if we do something about the meat problem.
Yeah, you don't really get meat in the end.
Yeah, because like the Draconis are obligate carnivores. So.
I mean, they could like.
They can physically eat anything that's within the food definitions.
Can you place water in the end?
Oh yeah.
Fish.
Yeah. You can just farm fish. Draconis can eat anything within the scope of the things defined as food, but like only meat gives them the hunger fulfillment. Oh. Everything else is empty. Okay.
By the way, since I haven't said anything, I'm looking for star bulbs because I don't have enough for the polyfiber thing. Which they grow on this planet, in theory. Oh, hello. That's not a lot that I'll have to do, though.
I am gonna make shulkers drop a meat, which should help. on the no meat in the end problem.
Aren't shulkers, like, really hard to find, though?
Yeah, they're in end cities. Yeah. They're kind of hard to find, but it is possible to farm them. Are you aware of the shulker farming method?
I am not. Please enlighten me.
So, when you put two shulkers within, like, they have the ability to face each other, and you get them to fire projectiles, their projectiles can, I don't remember exactly how it works, but, when shulkers hit each other, there's a random chance that it spawns another shulker.
I don't like the implications of that in terms of shulker, what these projectiles are.
It's like, it's so much like snail darts. Are you familiar with the snail darts, OP?
I'm not, but I feel like I've kind of figured it out just based on context.
Is Biddy familiar with the snail darts?
Are you familiar, Biddy? Biddy says essentially. I do want to know more, though.
So basically, snails fuck by shooting each other.
No, I just took a bite.
I don't even mean that euphemistically. Just completely literally, they have little darts. They shoot at each other.
Yep.
And that's how they fuck.
Okay. So, shulkers are snails, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, they're both snails are a mollusk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were basically saying that shulkers are like clams, and that's a mollusk, so not a far stretch.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, Biddy and I are both more familiar with the penis fencing technique. A sentence that I just said.
In the context of which animal?
Sea snails. They have both genitals and
Yeah, they're hermaphrodites.
yeah.
Both mollusks
and
are hermaphrodites.
whoever gets stabbed gets pregnant.
Yeah. That's basically how it is.
Which now, like it sounds
yeah.
like a really
Land
weird
fails.
version of like historical dueling, and now I'm just trying to imagine like what a like I don't know snail society would look like where that's a thing. Like duels for honor, but if you lose, you also have to carry a baby.
I will say, in terms of humans, homosexual behavior was very rampant in armies, and people who performed more poorly in training
Oh boy.
would be the bottoms.
Yep. That was actually, I learned this fairly recently. That was a big thing in Roman society as well, where like, it's fine, culturally it's fine to be gay, but only if you're the top.
Oh, that's a thing in like many cultures who have abused homosexuality. That's why I think that's why get fucked as an insult.
Apparently, Caesar specifically was known as every woman's man and every man's woman.
Oh my god.
Because he was notoriously slept around, but also it had to do with like a diplomatic meeting with some foreign head of state or whatever, and yeah. I don't think anything actually went bad for him. He just, wasn't treated as like literally God, and so everyone was like, ha ha, he got fucked. Thus the, every man's woman. Oh, answer citizen questions about the century.
Yeah, valid.
The citizens have grown curious. They note the sudden and traumatic appearance of the Sentinel hard frames, and that the Overseer appears to be accompanied by a rogue drone. Biddy is saying, my salad dressing is every man's woman.
Oh, that's a sentence.
Actually, I'm gonna screenshot that a second. Reassure citizens. The citizens are pleased by your words. They have lived in fear of the Sentinels their entire lives, and now hope for peace. They wish to assist you in your search for answers, and have prepared an expedition. Sure, go find a monolith if you like. Alright. Ooh.
They're giving you stuff now.
Yeah.
Which means we are on the path to alleviating the settlement
crippling debt.
Yeah. Which is, that's always good.
There should be a... I could have sworn there was something under construction, but it might be done by now. I think it might be this building here. I have no idea. I have no way of telling if it's new or not, though.
Cat has walked in front of laptop and demandingly pushed into my hand.
Oh. Where is this? There you are. VO. Vocalization bad. Help? Me, you? Go there. There. Place. The drone transmits a set of numbers to my exosuit. They do appear to be valid coordinates.
This particular cat Nero is very insistent with affection.
Why is the cat's name Nero?
Well, the two cats are Nero and Sid. This is a Final Fantasy joke.
Oh, okay.
They are both Goral cats.
It's like, why do you have a cat named after Emperor Nero? That's a decision you've made. Or that,
well, we're just talking
made.
about Caesar. Nero is very insistent with affection, but also very stupid about it. Because she'll often demand, like, pats and head scritches, and, like, chase after them while standing on the edge of objects. Like, she kind of just leans into pets with her whole
body, yeah.
Cat body. So it's like, and while she's standing on the edge of things, it's like, oh, you are going to roll off this table.
Just let her, it'd be funny. God, I haven't even checked the freighter yet this run. There's just so much stuff going on.
She'll also do things like walk on top of things I'm trying to open.
As you do.
So she can get pets. Walking on things I want to open because my hand is there.
Yep.
This includes boxes to cat food.
Okay, circuit
Cat
boards.
brain is like, and can't give me food? Can't give me food now?
Factories infest this place. Worlds upon worlds, spitting out resources for no purpose. Yet you are attacked by sentinels for obliterating a single rock. It is outrageous. It makes me sick. The Overseer is right. I am attacked by sentinels for mining small quantities of resources when factory complexes operate with impunity. Why? Why do they ignore such greed while I must fight for mere survival? It is good to see your anger. Ask yourself, why do the sentinels get to choose who suffers? Who gave them this power? I trust our scientist was able to meet your needs, friend. They have the circuits we demand. As I approached the Overseer, I was almost certain I heard them talking to themselves, spitting out words and phrases in a tongue I recognize but do not understand. But seconds later, there is no trace of the venom I thought I heard. I must be mistaken. Harley Mabringle asked me for the circuit board. The Overseer is strange, but no more so than any of the other beings I have encountered. Indeed, they have been more helpful than most. I hand over the circuits and receive my reward. Galactic Trade Terminal. Ah, friend. You will be so happy with Harley Mabringle. I have drawn up plans for some starship technology. But I cannot yet sync my device with your ship. I shall need a gravitino ball to perfect my device. The Overseer predicted I would be pleased, and once again they are correct. They have been ceaseless in their efforts to improve my lot. A gravitino is required to finish their promised starship technology. A farmer may be able to help acquire one. You will not regret it, friend. It is good we worked so well together. So that also requires me to wait for this thing to grow. God damn it. Okay. There's that. How long have I been going for? 3 hours, 45 minutes. Okay, it might be time to wrap up, honestly. There's just so much going on all at once. I'll check in back at my freighter and see what's going on there, but I think that might be the last thing I do tonight. There's so many things happening. And we haven't even touched the Artemis quest, which I thought we were, like, gonna at least get to. Bromide Soul. Units, Viking Daggers. Our units, Viking Effigy. Rhonium, Chromatic Metal. 4 units, Chromatic Metal. Magnetized Ferrite, some units. Geodesite. Iridesite. Units. Nothing got damaged. And he says, I just saw the name of the stream. I was expecting we were gonna do some stuff with Atlas, okay? Go to navigator. Potential expeditions. Our combat patrol. Street expedition. We have enough for this to run. We don't. Yeah, okay. Apparently we're not doing one of those either. That's... okay. Use my ship so I can save. Alright, that's it for the stream. That's a wrap. I will see you all either tomorrow or next time I do this. Good night.